everyone. Welcome to SceneDaily.com. I'm Steve Wade along with Jeff Gluck and Bob Pockris. Well, Richmond is over and we've got the field set for the chase. The top 12 drivers are in. Perhaps the big winner at Richmond, though, was Denny Hamlin. He wins the race, dominates the race, leading 299 of 400 laps for his first victory at his hometown track. But Jeff, obviously, other winners came out of Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Denny Hamlin story is almost like a side angle. I kind of compare it to Homestead when you come down to the last race of the season, somebody else wins, and you're talking about who wins the championship, because the chase is what I really focus on at Richmond. I mean, I know it's worth bonus points for Denny Hamlin to win, and it's his home track and great story, but to me, the big winner of the night was Brian Vickers. And the fact that he raced his way into the chase, I think, is really significant. Kenseth falling out, big surprise to me. Kyle Busch not making it, big surprise. Just that Vickers would be in is a big surprise.
I agree. I mean, Vickers, what's amazing to me is that Vickers was in the top 12 only once after the first 25 races, just after Atlanta. All the other times he wasn't even in the top 12 as far as the points goes, and all of a sudden, when it counts, he's in the top 12. But I won't diminish the fact of Hamlin's victory. You know, you can win at Homestead, but that doesn't really have any implications on the chase as far as like the following year. You win at Richmond, you come into the chase with momentum. Jimmy Johnson won Richmond the last 2 years on his way to championships, and you know, I think there's a big for Denny. I think this shows that he is a championship contender, and you know, it may not mean a whole lot as far as how the standings are today, but it might mean a whole lot when the standings are in 10 races from now.
Well, we're talking about guys who are winners. No doubt the big loser at Richmond had to be Matt Kenseth. Finished, I think, 25th place. He was in 12th place when the race started, fighting to keep his spot in the chase, and didn't even come close, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, 25th place, and nothing happened, guys. It wasn't like they, you know, scraped the wall or had a tire go down or blew an engine. They were just 25th place car, and that was as good as they got all night, which really, I just don't think that's very impressive. You know that it's all on the line, and you're putting all this effort into it, and that's all you can come up with is about 25th to 30th place. I mean, they didn't really deserve to be in the chase running like that.
You agree?
And I agree. I mean, I think none of the Roush Fenway cars had all that great nights. I mean, Greg Biffle was doing pretty decent. He finished 13th. Carl Edwards finished 15th, but Kenseth team's been struggling for a while, and I think, you know, it's a hard track if you're struggling to I guess get better. I mean, we saw it with Tony Stewart a few years ago when he wrecked his car and went to a backup car and couldn't make it in.
Well, you know, we're talking about winners and losers. Let's talk about another winner coming out of this race. As you know, the standings were reseeded for the chase, so each guy in the top 12 gets 5,000 points plus 10 points for every victory. That means that Mark Martin, with 4 wins, has 5,040 points. He's leading the standings going into New Hampshire. He's got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's a really amazing story that he's in that position. But it's just as amazing to me that Kyle Busch is not in that position. They could have been tied.
Right.
And the fact that Kyle Busch goes from possible points leader to completely not even in the field, I mean, that boggles my mind. But yeah, it's an awesome story for Mark Martin that he's in that position.
It's a great story for Mark Martin, but you know, don't start talking to him championship yet, or else he'll start bench pressing you like he does on his workouts during the week. He doesn't want to have any talk about it yet. I mean, what can you expect from a guy who's finished second 4 times and third 4 times in the standings?
I mean, he didn't even want to talk about it after the race.
No. There's a couple of reporters who are trying to ask him. He's like, not going there. I'm not going there. Now he is happy that they are leading the points. He thinks it's a great accomplishment for his team and for his guys, but he also sees that, you know, when you have 12 guys within 40 points of each other, you know, anything can happen.
Well, he's exactly right. 40 points can be made up in one race, even at New Hampshire this coming weekend. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But right now the field is set. We've got our top 12. Mark Martin is out in front, and it all starts at New Hampshire. Well, that's about all the time we've got at SceneDaily.com today. For Jeff Gluck and Bob Pockris, I'm Steve Wade.